Hello, Hollywood Times viewers. Judy Shields here. Today we welcome Grammy-nominated John Ondrasik. Oh, that's a
Yeah,
beautiful name.
yeah,
What
thank
nationality is that?
Slovak.
Wow.
Thank you
So
for having
let's talk
me.
about what's going on. I hear that you're doing, let's see, you're Five for Fighting, right?
Correct.
And what is that all about?
Well, so singer-songwriter. I
Nice.
was fortunate to have a couple songs in the early 2000s. People might know one called Superman, that was the song after 9/11 that kind of recognized the heroes of 9/11. And then a song called 100 Years. It's a kind of that we kind of mm, song about going through our lives that was a popular song. So I've been very blessed to kind of live my childhood dream as a singer-songwriter. The Five for Fighting thing comes from in the late 90s. My record company said, the male singer-songwriter is dead. You need a band name. It's Lilith Fair, it's boy bands, it's grunge music. And I'm a big LA Kings hockey fan. And in hockey, if you get in a fight, you get 5 minutes in the penalty box and they call you five for fighting. And so I went to a hockey game and I sarcastically said to them, how about five for fighting? Expecting them to hate it. And they're like, we love it. So here we are. 20 years later, five for fighting, go Kings, go. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to stand up here for a minute. Look at what I have on. Ontario Reigns.
Wow, then you are a serious Kings fan. Look at you in your rain shirt. There you go.
I've been going for 15 years. I've been a member for 15 years, all-inclusive membership.
Really?
Yes,
Amazing. So you see Fagemo score a goal every night.
exactly. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I love my Reigns team, and then we get these really great players and then they're gone because they go to the Kings.
Well, that's what they're supposed to do.
I know.
Turcotte and all those guys. It's nice to see him up playing. But yeah, I follow the rain as well. And of course, as you said, those players end up with the Kings, and they're a very good team. And one of these days, I'm going to get down there and watch a game.
I have tickets. Anytime you want to go, I'm five rows from the ice. So anytime you want to
You
come,
got you got a date. You got a date. I look forward to that.
anytime. I'm always looking for someone to go. I have two tickets.
Well, five for fighting must go to a rain game.
For sure. We gotta get that set up.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about what's going on. I understand that you're coinciding with Music in Our Schools Month, a national online music challenge that you created with Carly. Is that her name? Kaylee? Kaylee.
Hey, Kaylee. Yeah.
How did that come about? And tell us all about it.
It's really exciting. Music in the schools is very important to me. When I was in fifth grade, LA Unified cut funding to our schools, and my mom, Anna Marie, volunteered and came into our elementary school and started putting on full musicals. I was Tony in West Side Story, so either I had talent or I was just my mom's son, but that's another matter. But yeah, and 50 years later, the kids in those musicals still reach out to my mom. It made such a huge impact in their life, whether they went into music professionally or just kind of within their own lives, singing in their churches. And so music in the schools is critical. And so I partnered with the Tullman family in Chicago last year to raise money for a teacher for a school in need. And we went to a school called Farragut Academy in Chicago. I wrote a song with the kids called Let Music Fill My World.
Wow.
And they wrote every lyric. All I did was write the chorus. We went into a studio, we recorded it. It was amazing. And we made a video, put it out. And we did. We funded a music teacher for their school for 3 years for $250,000. So we're like, how do we take this to another level? So what we're doing this again. We're going to raise money for funding another music teacher for school in need, but we're doing a national contest. Do you remember the Ice Bucket Challenge? This is the contest just like that for music. And there's two prizes. What we're doing, we're launching on Good Morning America 3, March 26th. And anybody who wants to enter, all you have to do is make a little video of yourself telling a story about a music teacher or someone who made a difference in your life through music. Sing a little bit of the song, Let Music Fill My World, or play it on an instrument or do a dance. Enter the contest, and the winner will win $10,000, but also participate with us in funding another music teacher for 3 years for a school in need. As well, there's a school prize, so schools can compete against each other, colleges, high schools, choirs, marching bands. And the winner of that prize will win a $25,000 grant. But the big thing is to raise awareness for music in the schools for the 4 million kids in our country that do not have a music teacher in their school.
I mean, I just don't understand that. I just don't get it. I mean, music, I can't imagine not having music in my life. I mean, even at work, I have it on. I have it on my ears when I'm studying. I can read and have music in my ears. Isn't that crazy? I just have to have it. I don't know how the school, I read right here that during 2008-2009 recession, public school per pupil spending dropped by 7% nationally, leading to drastic reductions in art and music classes. Music programs have since not recovered, with only 19 out of 50 schools, including ours, as a key area of their state accountability system. That's just unheard of.
And it's not just like it's nice to have music. If you look at the metrics, graduation rates, ability to socialize with their peers, mental wellness. I could talk for hours about the stats that show music is not extracurricular, right? It's just as important as math and reading, all the things we need to have the tools we need to become adults and be successful and happy in life. And of course, the schools that are better off typically can fund music teachers. And the sad part is it's mostly our low income schools who really need it the most for these kids to have an escape, to have a voice, that don't have it. So our goal is to make sure every school has a music teacher. That's what Let Music Fill My World, our nonprofit's going to do. But we're starting with this, and it's going to be fun. And it's going to run through April. End of April, we'll pick 10 finalists. The public will vote. And then there'll be another music teacher in a school teaching kids and singing and laughing and having fun.
So how does everyone watching this help, like, Let Music Fill My World?
So basically, exactly. So on the 26th, our website, it's up now. If you want to look at it now, you can just go to letmusicfillmyworld.com. All the information's there, how to enter the contest. There's some videos of me talking and singing, the video of our kids writing the song and recording the song. It's all in there, all the instructions. So just go to Let Music Fill My World, and on the 26th, make your video or talk to your school or tell your friends, whether you have 10 million followers or 10, anybody can win. And you don't have to be a great singer. It's not about being a great singer. It's just about telling your story, doing something artistic and compelling. Anybody can win.
Wow. So how did this contest come about in your mind, and who else helped with it?
Yeah, so the Tullman family, Kaylee and her family, are amazing philanthropists in Chicago. And they were always doing kind of things in the schools, trying to, make sure instruments were in. And it's tough for them. It's just tough for everybody. And they were asking me about what can we do to do something special. And because my mom, basically inspired me through her activism and being a volunteer, I said, let's write a song with some kids in a school that needs a teacher. And these kids are not musicians. They're not in choir. They're not prodigy piano players. They're just regular kids who said, well, this might be interesting. And they were very shy. And it took a little while to get them out of their skin. But when they got in the studio and they were singing and they were, dancing together and new friendships were made, it was just a beautiful thing. And that's why we're trying to take that sentiment, that experience nationally, so every kid can enjoy what those 8 kids from Farragut Academy in inner city Chicago experienced.
Wow, that's like amazing story. So
It's a lot of fun.
let's talk about a little bit about you. So
Yeah.
how old were you when you discovered music, and
Yeah.
how old were you when you learned to play an instrument, and what might that have been?
Well, as mentioned, mom was a piano teacher. She started me very young, 2 years old. So I was very young, but she was also very wise. And when I was 13 and didn't want to practice anymore and want to ride my skateboard, chase
Yeah.
girls, she let me quit. And so now it was like, I'll do it if I enjoy it. And I started writing songs, and I just loved writing songs. I saw Billy Joel at 15 years old at the Fabulous Forum in town. Wanted to be a rock singer, and, Queen, Freddie Mercury, Steve Perry, loved all those singers. And I just was writing. And I wrote songs and recorded songs. And pursued the music business. And, Judy, I was one of those 15-year overnight success stories. I worked really hard, had a lot of rejection, but
Oh,
the stars aligned for me. When Superman became a popular song, in 100 years, I've been, for the last 25 years, been able to make a living and sell a ticket and write a song. And it's a beautiful thing. I pinch myself every day.
wow. So you mentioned the word rejection. Why
Yeah.
don't you tell our viewers who may gonna go on an acting gig or a musicianal thing, how did you handle rejection?
It's tough, it's personal, Superman, the lyric, it's not easy to be me. Well, that was partly because, everybody was slamming the door in my face. And I think as an artist, whatever you do, all you want to do is to have a chance to be heard, right? You just want to have a chance for people to hear you, see what you do. Who knows what's going to happen? There's a lot of things that have to go your way. It's not necessarily a meritocracy. You could be the best songwriter in the world, but not have success. Um, so I think the idea is talent matters, but it's not the most important thing. Perseverance, belief in yourself, and enjoying the process, whatever the results are. When I write a song, I don't know if it's going to be a hit or a miss, but that experience of writing the song and hearing it for the first time when it's done, creating something from nothing, it's a beautiful thing. And the people you meet along the way. So I would just say, part of any artistic experience is rejection. I don't care who you are, you're going to get it. And frankly, it should make you stronger. Go back to the drawing board, write hundreds of songs. I wrote 2,000 songs before anybody heard heard Superman. So it's really about all those things: work ethic, perseverance, relationships. If there weren't a few radio programmers that believed in me, we wouldn't be talking right now. Those relationships
Wow.
were more crucial than the song itself. So there's all these things that go into success in any aspect of life. So, just understand that and enjoy the ride wherever it may take you.
Wow, that's some amazing advice. Thank you for sharing that. That is
Sure.
so cool. So have you met any heroes along the way in your career that you just like, oh, I
Yeah.
gotta get their autograph or I gotta meet them?
It's funny. I've met, some of my favorite artists and favorite athletes, but the heroes come in come in ways that you never imagine. I wrote a song about the Afghan withdrawal, and for whatever reason, I got embedded with many of these Green Berets rescuing people in Afghanistan, people you'll never know their names. They do just heroic work, meeting the families of the firefighters that ran into those buildings on 9/11. I went to Ukraine and recorded a song with the Ukrainian orchestra in a war zone. And every one of those people are heroes. Their fortitude. I just wrote a song kind of about October 7th and the atrocities of Hamas. And just the other night, I was at an event with many of the hostage families, the survivors, and the stories that come out of that day, the heroism of people that just drove into the terrorist war zone to rescue people you'll never know their names. So there's heroes all around us. We get caught up in celebrities and
Yeah.
and fame and fortune, and that's fine. I love Elton John. I love Billy Joel. When I met them, it was amazing. I love Wayne Gretzky. Actually, Wayne Gretzky introduced me at the 100-year anniversary. So to have that as a hockey fan, that's like you're like a
Yes.
crazy giddy fangirl, just oh my
Yes.
God, oh my God.
Yep.
But then there's other heroes that I think
Yes.
are equally
Mhm.
important. So
Yeah.
so yeah, and Luke Robitaille being my friend, I love that.
Yeah, we should all have, and our heroes are our mom and dads, and we have
Totally, my
that as
dad is
well,
my
right?
hero. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
So we learn from them. So that's good. You've given some amazing insight and answers to those questions.
Oh, thank you.
So I wanted to ask another little question. I like to ask these. So your bucket list, what do you have currently on your bucket list that you want next?
Well, it's partially mine, but it's basically my wife's, which means it's mine. We want to see the Northern Lights. So
Oh,
so we're kind of on a quest to see the Northern Lights. That's important. My daughter is this aspiring artist and musician, so for me and her to do a performance or a song together. That's certainly going to happen one of these days.
A duet.
Yeah, a duet with Daddy and Olivia. And
Yeah.
just to kind of to see the world and meet new people. But right now the top of it is to go see those Northern Lights, because a happy wife is a happy life.
I'm telling you, you got like straight A's today. Awesome. So we want to make sure, folks, that the program launches March 26th. I read here it's running through April 30th, with the grand prize winners to be announced May 14th. Hopefully that information is all correct.
That is, and I'm on the road. If folks want to come see a show, I'm out with our string quartet, starting next week, and we will be playing SoCal out here at the Canyon in Agoura. I'll be down
Oh,
at the Coach House in San Juan Capistrano
yeah.
at the end of April, and all those dates are on fiveforfighting.com. And it's a great show with the quartet. They're all amazing Broadway players. My violin player just won a Tony Award, so you can hear
Wow.
100-year Superman chances with these amazing musicians. So we always have a blast.
And how do we get tickets for those shows?
Yeah, just go to fiveforfighting.com. The 25th is April 25th is up here in Agoura, LA, and then the 26th we're wrapping our tour down at the Coach House in San Juan Capistrano. So both are great venues, and it'll be the end of our tour, so we'll be in a funky, kooky mood. And I'm actually going to Israel from April 10th to 16th to do some work over there as well. So it's going to be a wild month, that's for sure.
So you have some inspirations in your life that give you these songs, don't you? When you go to these countries that have been all these things happening, it really must inspire you to just write, you know?
Part of, as you know, kind of being a creative person, writing and expressing yourself is cathartic. And sadly, there's been some tragic events in the last few years, and I take no pleasure in writing these songs, but like Superman, I see how people find solace in them. With the Israel song, okay, I got 4,000 emails from people in Israel and Jewish people around the world. With the Afghanistan song, hundreds of emails from our Afghan veterans. So you see, how music can make people feel they're not alone, and whether people agree with my songs or not, that's not the point. It's like artists write songs and they find their way into the culture, and that's part of what we should be doing as artists. And I wish more people would do that.
Yeah, maybe you should start doing with Five for Fighting, go out and do these US tours like Bob Hope did, and get people to come
Oh
out
yeah.
to help those
No,
who are
we
out there fighting.
Oh yeah, no, we've been doing USO tours. Me and Gary Sinise do a lot of work
Oh,
together with his
wonderful.
foundation. And yeah, I love the troops. I spend a lot of the time with the troops. We do a lot of projects for them. They're the reason we're talking. They're the reason we can say whatever we want. And them and their families are talking about heroes.
Yes.
They are on the front line.
Oh, I did not know that. Thank you for sharing that,
Sure.
and God bless you for doing that, and all of you who do that.
Thank you.
Do you have anything else to share with our viewers today before we go?
No, just thank you for having me. If you want to kind of follow all this craziness, Fight for Fighting Music on Instagram, John Ondrasik on Twitter, you can figure out how to spell it. I don't even know how to spell my own name.
Ondrasik, I can say it now.
Yes. And Facebook and all that stuff. You can see what we're doing. And yeah, I appreciate you having me. And go Rain, go Kings, go.
Yeah, thank you for that. We love our hockey.
Yes, we do.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay. Thank you, Judy.